getting to the end of their sets, going through what they know is the right way to do it. Look for their support players, get to their kick and get good kicks away. And there we go. Jordan Lilly starts us off here at Summer Bash.
Halifax will have first use of the ball. They will play towards the Bradford supporters, occupying the Jimmy Armfield stand to my left. The sunshine blazing down here at Bluefield Road, I do apologise. And we're having to shield his eyes, but it will be Halifax. They will have first use of the ball. The referee this evening is Tom Grant, and he will be looking to police a keen 10 metres. So immediately Halifax, 5 shy halfway, Ben Kay will get to his feet. He'll play the ball. They're going to move it on this left-hand edge, and it's going to go there with Jacob Fairbank, and he's going to be brought down just inside the Bradford half on the last tackle. Kay in at dummy half to Morrell. Morrell sends it high into the sunshine lit sky. They've let it bounce the Bulls, and it will come off Rowan Milne's chest into the arms of Fogging Johnston, and he will take tackle number 1 for the Bradford Bulls, and the Bulls now will be playing the ball 10 metres out from their own try line. We've had 70 seconds gone here. Dalton Grant up to the Bradford 20-metre line. 7 tries in 7 appearances. Dalton Grant will get a quick play of the ball as it now goes from Hallis to Lilly. Lilly's brought down by Tyra, and also Fairbank once again in a 2-man tackle. Out of dummy half from Hallis. Down the middle they're going to go. They're on the last tackle. 10 shy of halfway. And Halifax now looking to put a bit of pressure on Rowan Milnes. It was Ed Barber who applied that defensive line speed. Milnes' kick will come down inside the Halifax 20-metre line, and it's Sean Robinson, the former Oldham Swinton and Wigan Academy man, who will return the ball for Simon Grix's side, just shy of the Halifax 40-metre line. 0-0 here, mistake-free, rugby league football. It's Bradford Bulls live on Pulse 2. Mick Liddell, Damien Irvine, and Halifax now are on the halfway line. Kay out of dummy half, goes short side, but that's good defence from Matt Staunton and also Steve Crossley. Kay once again to Morrell in centre field, along the line to Kavanagh. Kavanagh, the former Bradford Hulkiston Rovers and Widnes man, is brought down on the last tackle for Halifax. They're 20 metres out, centre field. It's going to be Morrell. Morrell, a perfectly weighted kick. Fogging Johnston's made a meal of it. It's picked up by Chester Butler. Butler's over, but the referee, he's Johnny on the spot. He's already put whistle to lips, and he's going to say Chester Butler knocks that one on. It's a huge let-off for the Bradford Bulls. 2.5 minutes gone here. Pulse 2 scoreboard. Halifax 0, Bradford 0.
Just take a look at this set as the Bulls work it out now 20 metres out. Early Minchella on the right edge, just poked his nose through the advantage line there. Have to say early, Halifax have won the yardage here. They're getting off their line nice and quickly, and the Bulls really struggled to work it out off their own end, with Milnes taking his first kick of the day off his own 40-metre line. That will help. That's a piggyback penalty now. Jake Webster was just a little bit too much attention there, laying down on him in the ruck, and the Bulls are going to have a penalty here with Milnes kicking for touch just before the halfway line here.
First penalty of the afternoon, or should I say evening, for laying on in the tackle. It is an 8 o'clock start here in Blackpool at Bloomfield Road. And Elliot Minchella, 30 metres out, he'll tap the ball and he'll advance 10 metres forward. 20 out now, tackle number 1. Hallis out of dummy half, finds the willing running of Steve Crossley, and Crossley makes 12 metres. Second tackle gone, 8 metres out in front of the post. Down the middle it goes with Mikey Wood. Mikey Wood rattles the post, and he's now a metre out. Third tackle gone. Bradford in great field position here in the opening 5 minutes. Milnes out wide. Fogging Johnston. Johnston's in at the corner, and Johnston's going to open the scoring for the Bradford Bulls. This one's given without referral to the video referee, and it is Halifax 0, Bradford Bulls 4, and Fogging Johnston, he has try number 3 of the season.
A lot of work to do for Dave Fogging Johnson down there on that left wing. He really had a lot of work to do to get that over and make the points count. It was a bit of an innocuous set. Obviously, the piggyback penalty saw the Bulls playing the ball very close to the Halifax line. What's noticeable early is Crossley's getting a lot of help from Kirk, from Mikey Wood there. He's not as one out as he has been earlier in the season. He got some good help there. There was a nice simple block play. Milnes has gone to the left. 2 passes, 3 passes, nice hands. Foggen Johnson had so much work to do. There wasn't an obvious overlap created. He just got to the outside of his man. Really good finish in the corner there. Quite special, that, to be fair, considering it wasn't a great attacking move that opened up Halifax by any stretch. They'll be disappointed in that, Halifax. They probably had the best defensive work of the first few minutes here in the game. They've got off their line nice and quickly, and they've really made the Bulls work for every bit of yardage. The first set the Bulls get down that end, Halifax have conceded. Big kick to come here from Elliot Minchella, right on the sideline.
Pulse 2 kick predictor saying 33%. Minchella handed over the goal kicking responsibility to Rowan Milnes last week, and this one has gone across the face of the post. So it remains here on Pulse 2 on the West Coast in Blackpool. Bradford Bulls 4, Halifax 0. 5 minutes gone, and Foggen Johnson, the athleticism there, Damien, to get past Chester Butler and Sean Robinson.
Really, really impressive finish that from the young winger. Again, just like it was last week, very important that the Bulls get a good set and get to their end of their set and get the kick away here. The ball bounced there from the kick-off, and it was well cleaned up. Now Webster doing some good work as a centre three-quarter, coming out of his own end, sucking in 2 and 3 defenders there. The Bulls will play at 20 metres out, Hallis into dummy half.
Webster with a try last week in that 24-22 victory over Leeds at Odsall Stadium. Bradford leading Halifax here on Pulse 2 by 4 points to 0. Milnes is going to kick early on tackle number 4, straight down the front of QLT. That's Quinton Lalau to Togage, the former Samoan international, former Sheffield, and also he had a spell at Toronto, and he's going to be penned 20 metres out. Make that 15 metres out from his own line. Suffocating defence there from the Bulls, and Foggen Johnston, well, speaking to Jai Hitchcock at Tong during the week, and Jai Hitchcock reckons he's around 3 to 4 weeks away, so Foggen Johnston clearly up in his game here this evening to keep in contention. Halifax, what can they throw back at the Bulls? It's a barnstorming raid over halfway. Fairbank gets to his feet, plays the ball. It goes from K to QLT to Butler. Butler's wrapped up. Last tackle, says referee Tom Grant. Back in centre field to Morrell. Morrell looks to the sky. That's coming down. It's palm back. Kavanagh's in. Kavanagh's underneath the sticks. And Ben Kavanagh, against his former club, he will level the score up. 7 minutes on the clock. It's Bradford 4, Halifax 4. The kick to come from Steve Tyrer in front of the posts.
Very disappointing for the Bulls that it was an innocuous set from Halifax. They made decent yardage, but were taking a kick from just over the halfway line. It was almost a midfield bomb. It's come down just on the 15-metre mark outside off the line. Dalton Grant's had a crack at it. I kind of saw there might have been a little bit of a forward touch there from Halifax in the challenge. Now the referee was Johnny on the spot though, to be fair, and he called it that it wasn't, and it was play on, and Halifax have strolled over for the points. There were good signs early in that set from the Bulls. Their defensive attitude was excellent. They got off their line. They drove back Halifax early in the tackle count, and it put to bed what I thought were any concerns about an attitudinal problem early in this after the big week of last week. That was unfortunate. There was a 50-50 ball up there on the big up and under, and it was an unfortunate that Dalton Grant couldn't get his hands on that, and Halifax are straight over. They've gifted a try there, the Bulls, and they won't be happy about that. It's not too much to worry about, because I think the Bulls have certainly really upped their game here in the last 5 minutes and have started to assert some good authority in the defensive line and also in the attacking way that they're going about dealing with this Halifax defence. So early up, Halifax are going to take the lead 6 points to 4, having converted that from just in front of the sticks.
Steve Tyrer from in front of the post, and on the Pulse 2 scoreboard, Foggen Johnston's early try after 4 minutes has been cancelled out by Ben Kavanagh, and that Steve Tyrer conversion, and the Pulse 2 scoreboard says Bradford 4, Halifax 6 in this thrilling West Yorkshire derby on the West Coast, and that's the Halifax fans now singing from behind the post as Elliot Morris will get to his feet and he'll play the ball. Ben Kay out of dummy half. It goes to Jacob Fairbank, who's gone through a mountain of work inside the opening 10 minutes. There's a knock on there from Ben Kay at dummy half, and that will alleviate some of the pressure the Bulls were under. That'll be scrum head and feet to John Keir's side, just inside the Bradford half. First real error in open play from either side. We've had 10 minutes gone, and that one, certainly Ben Keir, when he looks back at that one, it was just a little bit of a fumble. Sam Hallis was in the vicinity, but he wasn't affecting play. So, scrum to the Bradford Bulls.
He's just rushed that there, Mick, and a little knock-on came. Sam Hallis is doing some great work defensively, really tightening up that ruck. As Jake Webster now, one out from the scrum, will play it just over the halfway line, the Bulls on the attack.
Webster plays the ball, Hallison at dummy half, finds Liam Kirk. Kirk, one of 9 homegrown players in this Bradford side this evening. It's a common theme in 2019. Milnes' pass has gone behind Elliot Minchella, and it's picked up there 40 metres out by Ethan Ryan. They've lost a little bit of ground there, the Bulls. They'll straighten up, and it will be Matt Staunton. Matty Staunton's lost the ball. That's come off a Halifax hand. That's play on. Referee will say first knock on by Matt Staunton. The onus is on the person carrying the ball, and that's Bradford's first error in open play. So an error apiece. Scrum head and feet to Halifax, and they will have the ball 20 metres out from the Rawn try line. Pulse 2 scoreboard. Bradford 4, Halifax 6.
Just a little disappointing there. That was unlike the Bulls of recent weeks, just trying to force the ball there early in the tackle count to come up with the error, as Halifax will now cut this out 24, 25 metres out now, and they'll be appreciating that because they were looking a little bit under pressure early in that set.
Tyra wins the first penalty of the evening. That's gone the way of Halifax.
Again, another piggyback there, Mick, which Halifax will lap that up all day long. That's the sort of ill discipline early in the game there that the Bulls haven't been featuring in their game for the last few weeks. John Keir will just want to stamp that out, as Halifax are going to start their set here 35 metres out from the Bulls line. Danger signs here for the Bulls. They're going to need a big set in defence here, and they're going to need to put pressure on the kick.
Griggs to Morris, tackle number 1. Here it goes now from Morrell to Griggs, and Griggs is going to be brought down 25 out. So 2 tackles gone, and Halifax leads 6-4 here at Bloomfield Road. They're going to go down the middle once again with Fairbank. Fairbank's brought down 15 metres out, centre field position, in front of the Bradford post. And that's tackle number 3 gone. It now goes to Morrell probing to QLT down the middle. Great tackle there from Liam Kirk. The Bulls scrambling back. K's over the Bulls line. Can he get it down? No, he can't. He's held up in a 2-man tackle, led there by Ethan Ryan and Sam Hallis. And Halifax, they will go back to the 10. Last tackle here. What have Halifax got in the bag? Scott Morrell peppers one behind the Bradford defensive line. The Bulls live to find another day, because that has come off Scott Morrell's right arm, and that will be a 7 tackle set for the Bulls from their own 20 metre line. And the referee now will stop the clock, because Jake Webster and Defogging Johnston had advanced ahead of the 20 metre line, so it has to be a controlled restart. We've had 13 minutes gone on Pulse 2. 0 tackle. Webster 20 metres shy of the halfway line. It comes on this main stand side from Lilly to Grant. Grant's brought down 5 shy of halfway. The Bulls now inside the Halifax half with Jake Webster. The 2 number 3s collide. That's Jake Webster and Steve Tyra, the former Widnes man. Second tackle gone. Hallis down the middle, wins the penalty. Kavanagh not square, and Bradford have a penalty 38 metres out. John Keir says keep the roll on, don't go for 2. And Bradford, they will find touch via the boot of Jordan Lilly on this main stand side, and they're going to have a full set of 6 here, 20 metres out from that Halifax line. Jake Webster will quickly take the ball, taps it on the right boot, misses out Lilly, finds Kirk. Kirk's brought down in a 2-man tackle, 15 metres out in front of the Halifax post. The Bulls looking to hit back. It goes to Crossley. A rampaging run towards the line, and Ben Keir and QLT bring him down. It now goes out of dummy half from Hallis to Kirk, and Kirk's brought down on tackle number 3. Hallis to Lilly to Ryan, out wide. Dalton Grant, is it 18-8? Grant's got it down. Dalton Grant, the try scoring run continues. 8 tries, 8 appearances in 2019, and the Bulls hit back. Bradford 8, Halifax 6. I don't know what you're planning on doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but strap yourselves in, because we've got another rugby league thriller on the cards.
Another fine finish from the wingers there. Dalton Grant this time had a lot of work to do. The ball just went in behind Jake Webster. Grant had to pick that up, and he had a lot of work to do. He got over there, he used great upper body strength. He had big tall body height when he hit the line. Tried to get lower, he sat and he twisted and he got the ball down. I would say, Mick, the Bulls set for that. Now, they've been favouring the left-hand side of their attack when they've gotten down to the attacking quarter most of the game. And they've been setting up Halifax for a three-card trick there, I have to say. They've gone left every time through Milnes, and on the far side through Oakes and Fogg and Johnson, where we saw the first try. But they were setting. Just when the penalty came for Hallis attracting the offside player, they were setting for that right side play. It got stalled because the Halifax side infringed. They got back down that end this time, and it was the quick hands. Lilly, Webster, Minchella, bang, Dalton Grant. They've gone the experience, they've gone the quick play, and they come up with the points. As Minchella now, he's curled that beautifully right over the dot there. What a kick that is from the far side. I think he's found his kicking boots again.
Elliot Minchella, he has refound his radar. As we said, he was 0 from 2 against the Leeds Rhinos. 50% this evening, as we just see on the replay. No need for the video referee. Dalton Grant clearly got that ball down on the Halifax line. He was well inside the field of play, a good 5 metres from this main stand touchline. And the Bulls, well, they've capitalised on some poor discipline from Halifax, because those 2 Bradford tries to Fogging Johnston and Dalton Grant have come off the back of 2 penalties that Halifax have given the Bulls. So here we go on the restart. Pulse 2 scoreboard. Bradford 10, Halifax 6. Dalton Grant, the try scorer. He's got 8 in 8 now. That try scoring run continues. Hallis to Lilly. Lilly to Mikey Wood. Wood's brought down on his own 42-metre line. Hallis inside the Halifax half. 10-15 metres forward. Good quick metres there from Sam Hallis. Milnes in at dummy half now to Mikey Wood. Unrelenting play here from the Bulls. And they're on the last tackle, 30 metres out. They've got 70 metres on the restart. And here we go, Rowan Mills' kick. Ethan Ryan was looking for it. Ethan Ryan appealing for a penalty. Non forthcoming. Referee Tom Grant saying Ethan Ryan has slipped. He wasn't impeded, as that one was latched onto and magnetised by QLT. 22 minutes remaining in this first half here. It has gone at breakneck speed, I tell you what. This one is really whizzing and flying by, as Sean Robinson takes the second tackle for Halifax, 15 metres shy of the halfway line. And once again, Bradford's line speed, they're crunching up in 1s, 2s and 3s. Halifax, they're going to have to unlock this Bulls defence out wide. And the danger we're going out wide is that you may come up with an error, as Ed Barber finds Elliot Morris. Morris is brought down on the last tackle now for Halifax. It goes out of dummy half from Kay to Morrell. Morrell, high hanging, spiralling bomb. Ethan Ryan takes that one from the clouds and immediately meets Ed Barber and Elliot Morris 20 metres out from his own try line, and he'll get to his feet and he'll play the ball with the Bull supporters beseeching referee Tom Grant. They were appealing for a penalty, none forthcoming. Fogging Johnston, who opened the scoring for the Bulls. He'll take tackle number 2. Milnes now in at dummy half to Ross Oakes. Ross Oakes' first carry of the evening, and he's brought down 15 shy of halfway. Third tackle gone. It goes to Lilly. Lilly looking to sprinkle some magic on proceedings with an inside pass to Jake Webster, who's brought down there in a 2-man tackle by Liam Cooper and Connor Davis. They're inside the Halifax half now as Hallis finds Crossley. Crossley brought down in a 4-man tackle, and that's the last tackle here now for John Keir's side and the Bradford Bulls. Crossley plays the ball. Hallis to Lilly. Lilly now sends it up. That one is going to put Will Sharp under a bit of pressure. Will Sharp will take that one, and the former London and RLFC man is wrapped up. 15 out from his own try line. We've had a quarter of the game gone here on Pulse 2, and it is Bradford 10, Halifax 6.
I think you're right, Mick, what you're saying about the line speed of Bulls here. Both sides are getting down in the nitty-gritty here now. They're really getting off their line and they're tightening up around the ruck very nicely. Halifax don't look to have quite the same punch and danger out wide when they move it from right to left as the Bulls have had, and the Bulls have come up with points from that. Bulls are forcing Halifax to have to go and try get through the middle if they're going to get through them. Bulls are numbering up really nicely on each edge defensively. It's a very well coached and very well applied defensive line there. At the other end, Halifax, they're doing a decent job, but they're not. Now the Halifax team are not quite getting the yards, being forced to kick that high ball out from their 40-metre line. And Ethan Ryan, he'll have that high ball for breakfast, lunch and tea, Mickey, all day long. He's very, very rock solid. As the Bulls, on the back of that penalty now, are starting to hit it up 20 metres out. Will they go to the edges again? I'm sure and certain they will, Mick, and they'll probably come up with tries if anything's could go by from the previous 2 times they've been down this end.
That penalty awarded to the Bulls for Halifax crossing. James Green out there on the field. Tackle 1. Ryan on tackle 2. It now goes from Hallis to Lilly. Lilly in the halves. Jinking and jiving. Dancing on the carpet. Finds Crossley. 3rd tackle gone. 10 metres out. It goes down the middle with Mikey Ward. And Mikey Ward, his first try of the season last week. 4th tackle gone. The 5 metres away from that Halifax line. It goes to Midchella. Midchella, mazy footwork. He is still going, Midchella. Midchella claiming a try. He's millimetres out from the Halifax line. And now Midchella, he's come up with the error on the last tackle, and that will be head and feet at the scrum. 10 metres out.
There's hands all over that in the play the ball. I mean, he's nearly pushed over Elliot Midchella right under the sticks. He's trying to get to his feet to play the ball, and there are just hands all over it. Hands all over the ball. So unlucky there, but it's going to be a Halifax scrum feed out in front of their sticks.
Well, I've just watched it back on the replay, Damien, and the referee, unfortunately, has got that one wrong. But as we know, referees, the only human, and, sometimes the ownership, you've just got to bite your tongue and put in a strong defensive performance. I'm not saying it's right that decision has gone against the Bulls, but...
you see them go 50-50. I mean, Elliott was trying to get to his feet and play it quickly as well. The ref had every reason to believe he might have come up with the error there. I don't think decisions like that are going to be the outcome of this game. I guarantee that, Mick. It's in the hands of both teams here, not the ref.
Ben Kay out of dummy half to Morrell. Morrell will find Ed Barber on that right-hand edge. Barber's brought down on the halfway line. 4th tackle gone now for Halifax. They're a metre inside the Bradford Bulls half. Pulse 2 scoreboard. Bradford 10, Halifax 6. If you're just joining us, Defogging Johnston and Dalton Grant for the Bulls. Ben Kavanagh for Halifax. They're on the last tackle now, Halifax. 40 metres out. Scott Morrell tries to go past Ethan Ryan, and Defogging Johnston, and Ethan Ryan, he will be trapped in goal. That's a rare error from Ethan Ryan. He looks up to the gods. He holds his left arm up, and Halifax, out of nothing, have forced the Bulls to concede the goal line dropout. We've had 23 minutes gone here at Bloomfield Road, and it is still the Bradford Bulls leading Halifax by 10 points to 6 on the Pulse 2 scoreboard.
Smart play there from the experienced halves in Halifax. They grab that in. They're probably looking to find touch just to slow it down a little bit. They notice that the Bulls have been getting a roll on and getting better yardage, and a little bit of ill discipline coming into the Halifax side as a result of that as they try and slow it down. So they got an even better result. They got an error there from Ethan Ryan, who was caught in goal. It just bounced over his head there on this uneven Blackpool playing surface here. So the Halifax are going to play the ball now 35 metres out. Very important set this for the Facts. They trail by 4 points. 17 minutes gone.
Elliot Morris on the 2nd tackle. He'll get to his feet, he'll play the ball. It'll go from Ben Kay to Liam Cooper. He's on a season-long loan from St Helens. Cooper will play the ball. Quick fire pass between Morrell and Griggs. They're going out wide in at the corner. Will Sharp comes back in. Back to Griggs. He's in centre field. He goes past Crossley. Puts the fend in on Lilly. He's still going. 35 years of age. Finds the ball to Tyra. And Tyra's brought down 10 metres out. Here he is at dummy half. He kicks ahead, and Ethan Ryan, well, he's now got money on the clock because he takes and deals with that kick superbly. As Ryan, he was delayed ever so slightly in getting to his feet to play the ball.
It's a classy play, that
and the
from
ball's
Ethan
now
Ryan.
Squeezed out, and it's another Bradford error. defogging Johnston. It was Chester Butler and Scott Morrell. Bradford's fourth error in quick succession, and that will hand Halifax a glorious opportunity. 15 metres out, and now Steve Crossley has questioned the decision by the referee, and the penalty count is 4-2. Halifax have just been awarded their second penalty for dissent, and John Keir, well, he'll be absolutely livid with that decision by Steve Crossley to question the integrity of the referee.
Yeah, we talked about this being in the hands of both sides, Mick, and that last 3-4 minute stretch there, the Bulls have probably brought that upon themselves, coming up with the errors out of their own end, which has been uncustomary for the last month or two. Halifax deciding, though, to play on and not go for the 2 points. Huge set of defence here for the Bradford Bulls.
QLT to Cooper, the St Helens Loney, 5 metres out, Grixon at dummy half. Down the middle they'll go once again with Elliot Morris. Morris playing the ball underneath the Bradford posts. It's just a 4-point gap, the difference. Morrell out, QLT is over. We're locked up at 10 points apiece. It was great execution between Grix Morrell. Morrell, he old-schooled the Bulls defence, and QLT shot in the hole, through the gap, through the door, and it is 10 points apiece here on Pulse 2, and Steve Tyra will have a conversion attempt to give Halifax the lead. 10 metres in from that far stand side.
Really nice angled run, decoy run there from, I think it was the back row from Halifax, just opened that door up. 3 or 4 Bulls committed to the inside runner. He didn't get it. It went straight behind him in a very well executed play. Really crisp passing and nicely worked down the right side there for Halifax. We've said it how many times, we say it all the time, Mick. Possession coming out of your own end is so important. The weight of possession there at that end came purely and simply from poor handling coming out of the end of the Bulls. As I said, it's been uncustomary. The last month or two, Fogg Johnson, Grant, Ethan Ryan have come out of the own end so well. They failed to there, capitulated that by having a penalty call on top of it, and Halifax have come up with the points as a result. Bulls will now trail as that kick goes straight over.
Steve Tyra, 100% record thus far, and it was that great interlinking play there between Grix Morrell, Dan Fleming, who's just come on the field, also involved as the third man, and QLT, he really didn't need an invitation to cross that Bradford Bulls whitewash, and it remains now on Pulse 2. Bradford 10, but Halifax, they've just scored. They lead the Bulls by 12. 14 minutes to go to half-time here on Pulse 2. At half-time we're going to hear from former Bradford Bulls head coach, former Bradford Northern player Brian Noble. So stick around at half-time for that. Halifax looking really good now and energised, and in that final 20 minutes here at Bloomfield Road, you might just start to see the effects of that trip to Toronto and that Herculean effort against Leeds last week. Kay will find Fleming. Dan Fleming, the former Bradford man, is brought down 10 shy of halfway, and now it's going to go to Fairbank, trying to punch a hole past Elliot Minchella and Mikey Wood. They're on the last tackle on the halfway line. Morrell kicks towards defogging Johnston. They've identified the former Hunslet and York man as Bradford's weak cog, but he deals with that Scott Morrell kick superbly. That one was drilled along the Bloomfield Road playing surface. The sun's setting in the distance, the floodlights on here. Mills out of dummy half. It now goes to Ryan. Ryan's being tipped in the tackle, and it's on. There's a bit of a schmozzle, and here we go. It's Biff at the bash. It's what everybody's turned up for. Biff at the bash.
Well, I hope no one cops a loose handbag in the eye there, Mick, because they were coming in swinging him pretty well. What I like about that is Bradford Bulls, it was a lifting tackle there on Ethan Ryan, and his mates have got around him. They've got in there and said, we're not having that. We're not having our fullback lifted and driven into the turf. Good team spirit, that. Really good to see. And the Bulls, again, now it comes down to real discipline from either side that is going to give their opponent a leg up. Bulls are going to kick for touch, and they'll be playing the ball circa around the 40-metre line, and they're going to have a big attack here on Halifax. Very important, I think, who leads this game into half-time, Mick. I really do. I think it'll change who dictates the tempo and how things go in the second half. So this is a really big 12 minutes of play coming up.
Rowan Mills finds touch, 40 metres out from that Halifax try line, and is lightning about to strike for a third time for the Bulls and John Keir's side, because this another penalty given away by Halifax. That was Scott Morrell. Didn't really need to tip Ethan Ryan. And here goes James Green. Second tackle gone. 18 metres out. Just to the left of centre field. Lateral ball. They'll go down the middle with Mikey Wood. 15 metres out now. 2 tackles remaining. Hallis to Lilly. Lilly to Webster. Webster. He's got the ball to Dalton Grant. It's touched the Halifax hand. That will be a repeat set of 6 here for the Bradford Bulls. QLT palmed that one towards the Bradford line, although the referee is going to reverse his original decision and he's going to say it's a 5th error there from the Bulls. Chance gone begging. Pulse 2 scoreboard. 11 minutes out from half time here. Bulls 10, Halifax 12.
John Keir has gone a full rotation now. He's brought Connor Farrell into the lineup. James Green and Colton Roche also off the bench now. Just freshening up things there with 10 minutes to go. That was unlucky there from Jake Webster. He got his arm free, popped the ball out, and it's been ruled that the Bulls have knocked that on. Halifax worked their way out 20 metres. As I said, there will be points in this last 10 minutes, Mick. I think there's probably 2 tries in it in this last 10 minutes, the way the game's been going. Whether it goes the Bulls' way or Halifax' way remains to be seen. There's a lot of points left in this game.
Bradford 10, Halifax 12. Steve Tyra's brought down on the 3rd tackle. 25 metres shy of the halfway line. Halifax moving the ball with Scott Morrell over on that right hand edge. He's up and over halfway. He's brought down a metre inside the Bradford half. They'll come back in centre field. That one bounced backwards and then forwards, and Dan Fleming races forward, regathers the ball. He's brought down there by Farrell and Wood. Last tackle for Halifax. High hanging kick there from Scott Griggs, taken by Ethan Ryan. And I'm not sure that was legal. Jacob Fairbank using the shoulder in the back of Dalton Grant. That's been missed by the officials. This one getting a little bit niggly and heating up here on the west coast as it goes from Lilly out of dummy half to Dalton Grant. The Bulls are having to tough it out here just before half time. Lilly still going forward. Lilly looks for a gap. Lilly 15, 20 metres. 10 metres inside the Halifax half. Wildy now in at dummy half, replacing Hallis. Goes down the middle with Green. Green's brought down 30 metres out, James Green. He made 117 metres from 12 carries last week, and he will win the Bulls their 6th penalty of the evening. And John Keir sends Michael Piper and the kicking tee on, and this one will be 2 points for Elliot Minchella in front of the post. 30 metres out. The Pulse 2 kick predictor says a very generous 87%. And this one is going to go straight into the stand to our right, which is occupied by the Halifax supporters.
Yeah, look, a good decision, although that won't be the last points of this half, Mick. Things are starting to open up. There's a lot more of a roll-on from both sides through the ruck, and they're making the plays out with pretty crisp passing, to be fair, and some good attacking plays either side of the ruck as well. I must apologise, Colton Roach is not on the field yet. I miscalled him there earlier, but certainly James Green and Connor Farrell have both been coming into proceedings. John Keir has a few aces up his sleeve. Is that Matt Wildy now on the pitch there? You see there, just
Matt
behind the kicking. So he's come on at dummy half. He'll create some further impetus. Sam Hallis deserves a break. He's been absolutely outstanding the first few minutes. Some good kick chase, really good pressure on the kicker for Halifax. I'll be really interested to see Wildy now going direct with Jordan Lilly helping him out to his right hand side in his final 7 minutes of the half. I think we can see Wildy start to open up the Halifax defence through the ruck.
Elliot Minchella adds the extra 2 points there for the Bradford Bulls. The Pulse 2 scoreboard. We're locked up once again. It is Bradford Bulls 12, Halifax 12 this evening on Pulse 2 with me, Mick the Game Caller Gledhill, and also Damien Irving, your Pulse 2 commentary team once again. And Bradford immediately on the restart. It's Connor Farrell making huge metres. Farrell's past the Bradford 40 metre line. He's still going forward. It now goes to Wildy, to Green, as we mentioned, 117 metres from just 12 carries last week, as Green carries Bradford inside the Halifax half. 7 minutes to go to half time. Minchella to Webster. Webster on this main stand side, brought down 25 metres out. appeals for a penalty, non forthcoming. Scott Griggs just moved away at the right moment. Minchella's brought down now, 20 metres out, centre field. Kevin Leroyer's just come on, and Kevin Leroyer has given the penalty away in front of the post, and that now is the 7th penalty that Halifax have conceded in this first half, and John Keir sends the kicking tee on once more. It's pretty much deja vu for Elliot Minchella and the Bulls. This one 25 metres out, in front of the post, 6.5 minutes to go to half time, and you suspect, Damien, Elliot Minchella is going to give the Bulls the lead.
Certainly very kickable. I think it's interesting, Minchella probably is not at his best down this right side in those lateral runs, but he's been forced into them a little bit through his class. And why I say that is it's such the class and respect that teams have for Elliot Minchella. They're numbering up on him 2 and 3. They're rushing the line. They're giving him little amount of space to work with, so he's been forced to cut back in laterally inside. And then again, they're trying to slow down because he has a very classy, quick play of the ball, and he's sucking in, and he's earning that penalty for his side. That's a sign of a very good player. As he lines up the kick in now, Minchella, from just to the right of the sticks. He's struck in it really well, actually. He's striking a lot better than he did last week, and he's put that right over to give the Bulls the lead, 14 points to 12, with 5 minutes remaining here at Blackpool.
Elliot Minchella then from 25 metres out. We have 5.5 minutes to go. 3 from 4 attempts, and that has got the 2,000 travelling supporters from Odsal on the feet in the stand. They're waving the flags, the inflatables and the banners. And Bradford, well, they've come back and hit Halifax hard after conceding that second try of the evening when QLT went over, and those 2 Elliot Minchella penalties, they ultimately could prove the difference come the 80th minute this evening. So on the restart, Wildy out of dummy half to D. Fogging Johnston. Matty Staunton took tackle number 1. That's tackle number 2, and he's 10 metres shy of the halfway line in centre field. It goes to Wildy, to Lilly, to Farrell on this right-hand edge. Farrell brought down there by Fleming and Tyra in a 2-man tackle. Webster rolling back the years. He's brought down 40 metres out now, and that is the last tackle. Centre field with Lilly. Lilly looks up, gets the nod there from Defogging Johnston. Johnston's overrun it. QLT does well at fullback, and he will take the tackle for Halifax 10 metres out from his own try line. We've got 4 minutes to go to half time. If you're just joining us, it's another high octane, highly competitive Bradford Halifax fixture. Don't forget there's another 2 coming up over the next 5 games after this one, and they're certainly going to get to know each other by the end of the season. As we said, Bradford in 6th, played 13, won 8, lost 5, 16 points. Victory over Halifax this evening. It could open up a 4-point gap over Halifax, but Bradford, they've been very well drilled and well marshalled on discipline, but Conor Farrell has just given a penalty away on the halfway line to Halifax for holding down in the tackle. Tyra will tap it 30 metres out. It now goes from Brandon Moore to Dan Fleming. Fleming's going to be dumped to the turf 20 metres out, second tackle gone. Moore in at dummy half, finds Morell to Griggs to QLT. QLT goes out wide to Sharp. Will Sharp's in at the corner, has momentum, taken the former London man past the Bulls defence. The referee will point the finger, and back have come Halifax. It's now 16 points to 14, although this one is going to be chalked off, Damien Irving.
Yeah, he's got him there as a little knock on. I think you'll find Mick. He beat Dave Foggin Johnson, and he's gone short of the line, and he's knocked that on, is the call. I don't know about that, to be fair, Mick. I thought he finished it and finished it cleanly. He's reached out, put the ball. Is he short of the line? Is the only thing I could see. If he's short of the line. Might be a tough call. That on Halifax, I've got to say. Might be a tough call there indeed. It was well worked, really direct run there from the 5'8". He really put it on, a direct run, and got outside. His outside men there and got the ball clean. Scott Morell did very well. I don't know about that, Mick. I've got to say, I think it was a fair try. Halifax, he's reached out, looks to have got it on the ball. The referee's called a knock on.
I've got to say that looked a try to Halifax for Will Sharp. The Bulls Well, you talk about 50-50 decisions. Earlier on in the game, Elliot Minchella should have had a penalty in front of those Halifax posts, and that one now has gone against Halifax, and they'll feel rightly aggrieved when they watch that on the replay at half-time. It goes from Milnes to Minchella. Minchella's brought down on tackle number 5 for Bradford. They were just running down the clock. They're on the halfway line. It goes to Milnes. Milnes was under pressure there from Ed Barber, and he will turn QLT around, and that ball will have to be fielded because it's gone dead in goal. So Halifax, they've got 90 seconds to go here at Bloomfield Road. They'll have one last roll of the dice. And the Halifax supporters, you heard the boos and jeers. They were adamant Will Sharp had crossed the Bradford line. So a bit of controversy in this one this evening as it goes down here from Halifax. 10 shy of the halfway line. Will Sharp quickly picks it up down the middle with Leroya. Leroya's brought down. Rolled over in a two-man tackle. Back inside his own half. Brandon Moore in at dummy half. Goes now to find Fleming. Fleming brought down by Oakes. Also Farrell in a two-man tackle. We've got 45 seconds remaining here at Bloomfield Road as it goes to Moore, to Morrell. Morrell, he's thrown the ball forward, or should I say passed the ball forward to Leroya. And Halifax, dear oh dear, that is their 6th error of the match now. The error count building up for both sides. And I think 14-12 will be the half-time scoreline. We've got 20 seconds remaining. There'll be one tackle, one play as Rowan Milnes feeds the ball in the base of the scrum, taken out there by Wilde. It goes to Webster. Lily's going to kick ahead, looking for a 40-20. Dalton Grant's in a footways for QLT. QLT takes it in his own in-goal area, looks to navigate past Lily, can't get past Jordan Lily, and that is half-time here at the Summer Bash in Blackpool. Controversy in this one. Lady Luck shining down on the Bulls, it must be said. Half-time here, it is the Bradford Bulls 14, Halifax 12. Lot of adversity about the video referee decision. So Pulse 2, Bradford Bulls live. We're back underway here at Bloomfield Road, and it will be the Bulls who take tackle number 1, 10 metres out from their own try line, and that now will go towards Staunton. Staunton's brought down 20 metres out. Milnes in at dummy half. Finds Oakes. Oakes fronts up, brought down by Fleming and Leroya. It's Bradford Bulls 14, Halifax 12 here at Bloomfield Road. Matty Wilde in at dummy half to James Green. You almost suspect the next score, if it goes the way of the Bulls, that could be decisive. There's nothing to split these two sides. Once again, as we said, Bradford, one defeat in the last 9 games. That was against Toronto. They have the opportunity here in Blackpool to open up a 4-point cushion over local rivals Halifax. They're on the halfway line, on the last tackle, and QLT will deal with that danger there from Rowan Milnes. We've had exactly a minute gone here at the start of the second half, and it remains Bradford 14, Halifax 12. Halifax just moving the ball out from their own 10-metre line. Good scrambling defence there. Jordan Lilly in the thick of it. Has to peel away with Farrell and Webster also involved. Once again, goes from Moore, and they'll just go down the middle channel, will Halifax. They'll be looking to certainly improve their discipline. Here goes Leroya. Leroya can't get past James Green, and the former Castleford and Hulkinson Rovers man will wrap him up 5 shy of the halfway line. It's now going to go with Fairbank. Jacob Fairbank on the last tackle for Halifax, 5 metres inside the Bradford half. We've had 2 minutes gone. 38 minutes remain in this one as Morrell goes high. Ethan Ryan under pressure, but he takes that calmly and composed, and he's going to be brought down 10 metres out from his own try line in a 2-man tackle forced there by Chester Butler and Ed Barber. Ed Barber, of course, Halifax born, one of 6 Halifax born players in this Halifax side this evening, and as we talk about the Bulls homegrown heroes, 9 Bradford players born in the city of Bradford: Pickersgill, Ryan, Kirk, Crossley, Michella, Peltier, Oakes, Milnes, Staunton, all named in that 19-man squad. Here it goes from Minchella. Minchella to Wood. Wood's brought down, up and over, halfway. It's going right down this left side. It's going to Milnes. Milnes goes high. It goes to QLT. QLT takes the ball under pressure there from Farrell and Milnes, and he's brought down. 15 out from his own try line. Pulls to scoreboard. Bradford 14, Halifax 12. Tight and tense this one, Damien.
It is, and tellingly, Mick, neither side really have had any opportunities to put really good attacking kicks on. It's been played very evenly in terms of possession and yardage up the middle, and there's been no real big kicks to the wings that have been 50-50 challenges. When the bombs have been coming from either side, they've been from quite a distance out and not making a huge impact, and the kick chase, although good, is not quite there at the advantage line to make pressure on the catcher. So Bulls now have possession coming up the halfway line, and I really think the early points in the half either side here is going to be so important.
Well, that was another error there from Halifax on the halfway line. Their completion rate must be below 80%. That won't please interim head coach Simon Griggs, as James Green is brought down 40 metres out. It goes to Matty Wildy, to Minchella, to Mikey Wood, and Bradford. Lily's trying to create something on this Maidstone side. Now goes to Milnes. Milnes tries to unlock that Halifax defence. Butler and Leroy wrap Rowan Milnes up, 19 years of age. 2 tries this season, and he'll play the ball inside the Halifax 20-metre line. It now goes out to Minchella, to Lily, to Ryan. Ryan's over on that far stand side. Last tackle now. Halifax defending superbly. Lily, crossfield kick. Looking for Johnston, but Chester Butler takes that one in the air, and he's brought down 5 metres out from his own try line, and it is Bradford 14, Halifax 12 on the Pulse 2 scoreboard. Don't forget, after the game here at Bluefield Road at 10 o'clock on Pulse 2, we have late night grooves, so if you want to put your disco shoes on and go for a bit of a dance, stick around on Pulse 2. Me and Damien, we might be heading out around Blackpool, and we might go for a couple of cold beers and a dance. Who knows? Let's see what happens. But
I'm a very groovy individual, Mick, so who knows?
Halifax, they've got the ball on the last tackle. 10 shy of halfway. Scott Morell over the head of Defoggy Johnston. 40-20. The referee, will he give it? No, he won't. Oh my words.
It's just outside of the 40 there. It was a good kick.
Incredibly close there.
Very unlucky. Very unlucky. Look, it's a great kick though, I think, from Halifax. Again, very similar to the start of the first half, this first 5 minutes. Both teams feeling each other out here a little bit. There's been no real line breaks in the game to speak of, Mick, to be fair. Both sides are aiming up around the edges, and their A and B defenders, and really blocking any potential line breaks. So high quality defensive game from both sides has got to be said. But there again, where the difference has been made again is from errors and ill discipline, not through the line breaks. So if it goes this way and continues on that fashion, Mick, it's just going to get down to discipline and ball handling again. As the Bulls moving it out now off their own 40-metre line. Nice hit up there, James Green.
James Green brought down just shy of halfway. Chris Melly says not sure about Ryan Atkins personally, would prefer Toyo Igodo. As we said, nothing set in stone. The players all become out of contract on the 1st of May, so there's a lot of movement happening both ways, that must be said, the ins and outs. Minchella's wrapped up on the last tackle, 30 metres out. Wildy plays the percentages superbly, drills that one into touch. That will turn Halifax around 10 metres out from their own try line, and you can just see that enthusiasm after half time from those Halifax players. It's evaporating into the air. Well, don't forget the last meeting at the Summer Bash between Bradford and Halifax took place back in 2015. It was a tight, close one then. Bradford 18, Halifax 4. Ryan Shaw and a brace from Adrian Purtell, the Bradford try scorers. Shaw was 2 from 2 and Danny Addy was 1 from 1, and it was a sole Ben Heaton try for Halifax. The attendance that day was 8,560. We're expecting a bigger crowd here this evening, although the RFL have yet to announce it. Over 2,000 Bulls fans cheering and willing their side on as Brandon Moore finds Leroy. Leroy's brought down 5 shy of halfway. 4th tackle gone here for Simon Griggs' side. Moore to QLT, out to Griggs.
Good defensive set, Mick. Halifax are going to be looking for the kick here, well over the 40 metres out, which is what the Bulls have been trying to do. Just forcing them to kick from downtown and not from an attacking position.
QLT puts the fend in there on Minchella. He's brought down. Last tackle coming up. It goes to Morrell. Morrell once again targeting Ethan Ryan and Foggy Johnston. Ethan Ryan takes that one. Will Sharp wraps him up. So too Chester Butler. Tackle number 1 now for the Bulls. 2 metres infield. Johnston on the second carry. Tackle 2 gone. 10 metres out from his own trial and appealing for a penalty. None forthcoming, and it's a similar, familiar pattern for the Bulls after a hard working set from the forwards. First Johnston, then it's Oakes, and now it'll be Connor Farrell just to the right of centre field. 3rd tackle gone. We've had 8.5 minutes gone at the start of this second half. 31 minutes remain here on Pulse 2. They're on the last tackle, the Bulls, on the halfway line. Wildy to Milnes. Milnes off the left boot. That is going to cause pandemonium for QLT. He does well to take that one from the clouds. And now Halifax, they're going to spread the ball out wide, giving it some air, and they're going to be brought down just outside their own 20-metre line as Jake Webster. He read that superbly. Leroy in at dummy half. Down the middle, they're going to go with Butler. Butler's going to be brought down 5 shy of halfway. Referee looks on. Wildy could have been penalised for potentially stopping the play, the ball occurring. So a bit of leniency there from referee Tom Grant. Will Sharp in possession for Halifax on the halfway line. It goes from Moore to Morrell. Morrell on this main stand side to Connor Davis. Davis is brought down. 4th tackle gone. They're 30 metres out from the Bradford line. It now goes back down the middle with Morrell. Morrell, the ball's been stolen there by Mikey Wood. Referee, whistle to lips. Is this one against the Bulls, or is it a loose carry there from Morrell? Head and feed to Halifax. They're going to say Mikey Wood. His right arm just knocked that one out, so a huge chance coming up here for Halifax. Scrum, head and feed. 25 metres out, Pulse 2 scoreboard. Bradford 14, Halifax 12.
That's the error, that's the call, that's the 50-50 play there, which either side has been looking for in the first 10 minutes of the second half, and it's come up in Halifax's favour. They're playing the ball 22 metres out actually from the scrum feed. Big attacking set here for Halifax, big chance.
Flat pass from QLT, that was nearly picked off by Lilly. Halifax 20 metres out. 20 metres in from that left-hand side. They're going to go down the middle with Brandon Moore, and Brandon Moore is brought down 10 metres out. It now goes with Morrell. Morrell to Griggs. That's been touched by Rowan Mills, picked up by Fogging Johnston. Johnston will be called back. That was touched and promoted towards the Halifax line by homegrown graduate Rowan Mills, who has a 100% record with the boot in 2019. And on his 9th appearance for the Red, Amber and Black this season, he has potentially disrupted a Halifax move that potentially could have seen Butler and Sharp causing problems of Ryan and defogging Johnston on this main stand side. So 10 metres out, they're going to still come on this side. It's Butler towards the Bradford line. He's going to be dragged into touch. The referee though says tackle was completed, so it's Sharp out of dummy half, and Bradford have to scramble that goal line defence. Sharp's lost the ball, Ethan Ryan and James Green, and look what it means to the Bulls players. High five, pats on the back. We've had 50 minutes gone here at Bloomfield Road. Pulse 2 scoreboard, Bradford Bulls 14, Halifax 12, no change to the interval scoreline.
Well, we talk about coach killers, Mick, and and an arm wrestle as this game has been in the second half early. Halifax had 2 starts of sets within the 20-metre line of the Bulls, and they've failed to get through tackle 3, 4 or 5 on either of them. It's a real coach killer, mate, it is, and they may well rue that opportunity. They're not going to get many opportunities down the Bulls' end in this half of football to overtake the Bulls. They're a 2-point deficit at the moment, Halifax. That was really disappointing from them. They might rue that. I will just have a look here. I've got to say, the last 3 sets that the Bulls have had coming out of their own end, QLT for Halifax and also Sean Robinson for the Halifax side on the far side. They're out of position, Mick, defensively. They're playing way too flat as far as the winger goes in tackles 2, 3 and 4 and 5. He's only going back, Robinson, very late on the 5th tackle to cover the kick. So he's very flat in defence. And QLT, it's all right to be flat in defence for the winger, but QLT's fullback's way too deep early in the count. I mean, we're talking 35, 40, 45 metres back behind the defensive line. So that tells you they're susceptible there for a little chip kick, a little grubber kick through. And if there is a line break up through the ruck, he's way too deep to be able to sniff that out before the Bulls' support can come up. So just have a look at that, Mick. I think they're way too deep and out of position there, those Halifax outside backs. It'll be very interesting to see what comes of it, whether Milnes, Lilly, maybe Minchella can just point that out and target that, use their experience, Minchella, just to say, look, boys, look at this gap we've got here. Let's have a little look in behind the advantage line, little grubber kick, little chip kick. I can see, if that's exploited, a really good door to be open there for the Bulls.
Well, play is still being held up here. Jake Webster just receiving a bit of strapping and a bandage across the forehead. There was claret coming down, so we've had about a 2-minute delay here at Bluefield Road and a chance here for the Bulls to attack from deep. We've had 52 minutes gone here, and as we said, in the last 6 meetings between each other, Bradford have won 4. So let's see what happens here from Wildy. Colton Roach has just come on, his first start and first taste of summer bash action, and he goes with Wildy. Wildy up to halfway, scampering out a dummy half. No change to that half-time score. 14-12 the Bulls lead. Minchella, boomerang pass to Mills. Mills out to Oakes. Oakes to Johnston. Johnston, he's herring away down the main stand side. He applies the brakes because Morell and Ed Barber came into his vision, and Bradford are on the last tackle now, 20 metres out. Rowan Mills, high hanging kick taken by QLT, and the former Sheffield man, well, safe as houses under those high balls, and now Halifax will look to build a bit of pressure and momentum. 53 minutes gone, 27 minutes remaining here at Bluefield Road. Where is this one gonna go? The pendulum, it's not set on either the blue and white of Halifax or the red, amber and black of the Bulls, that's for certain. I think next try, next point's absolutely crucial. Halifax 10 metres inside the Bradford half. Moore out of dummy half to Kay. Kay to Morell. Morell inside ball to Kavanagh. Kavanagh's brought down on the last tackle. 25 metres out. That was well read there by Farrell and Minchella. Scott Griggs drills one along the floor. Bit of a mix-up between Dalton Grant and Ethan Ryan. But Ethan Ryan takes it. And Ethan Ryan is brought down 18 out from his own line. There was a half break there. Potentially. Lillian at dummy half. Now to Webster. Webster. Tireless, effortless running forward. The Bulls, they're getting the second wind, and it's going to be Dalton Grant. Dalton Grant's up to halfway. This is a strong set from the Bradford Bulls. Wildy past the Halifax 40. Wildy's brought down. He's still going, Manny Wildy. 4th tackle gone. Bradford, they've gone 80 metres. They're 20 metres out from the Halifax line. It goes to Farrell. Kick through for Webster. And Halifax, that goal line defence, alert to the danger, and it is Will Sharp who put his body on the line. 25 minutes remain. Pulse 2 scoreboard. Bradford 14, Halifax 12.
What a fantastic set that was in attack for the Bulls. They really sniffed around the ruck area. They made good yardage. and they're really starting to roll through the middle of the ruck there of Halifax. Although, having said that, on the kick returns here and coming out of their own end, Halifax just poking their nose through the advantage line as well and starting to get a roll on. This game's starting to loosen up, Mick. It's starting to get a lot more end-to-end. That tightness that we saw around the centre of the ruck, that real disciplined approach is starting to go out the window here now. I expect to see points come now in this second half as both sides start to open up a little bit. It's much more end-to-end stuff, as that's a very good take there from Dalton Grant as he hits it back up 25 metres out off his own line. Another dummy half scoot there from the Bulls, and he's caught them offside. Really, really smart work there. Who is that? Looks like it's number 14. It's Jordan Lilly that's won that there. Really smart work from him from dummy half. Got the Halifax on the back of their heels, and he really darted in there, caught them napping. That's his old dummy half experience at 9 coming through for the halfback.
Halifax have just conceded their 8th penalty of the evening. We're approaching the hour mark. 20 metres out from the Halifax line. It'll go from Wilde to Roach. The former Huddersfield man's brought down 5 metres out now. Tackles in the bag for the Bulls. Lilly along the line to Farrell. The former Featherstone and Wigan man is brought down 2 metres out. Webster in at dummy half. He goes deep. Structured passing between Lilly and Minchella. Minchella looks for support. He can't get it. And Rowan Milnes, he's saying the Bulls will come on this left-hand edge. But Lilly's calling for it on the right, and Lilly will get it. Jordan Lilly, kick through. QLT averts the danger, and Bradford have forced their first goal line dropout of the evening. 23 minutes remain. It's a pulsating West Yorkshire derby on Pulse 2. It really is a case of who will blink first. And Bradford, they will sap the energy out of this Halifax fuel tank, because they will go again.
It's their second repeat. They got one earlier in the first half, Mick, when they just knocked it dead, Halifax. But again, smart there from Lilly in terms of him getting that on the boot, executing it well. As they failed to take the drop out here, Bulls, and it's gone deep into their own half, and Ethan Ryan has recovered from that, and he's going to play that 40 metres out off their own end. Very dangerous letting a drop out bounce. That's the result you get. There's Staunton now with a very, very good quality hit up on this left edge. He's been relatively quiet tonight, but the work he's done has been first class as always.
Staunton will play the ball on the tackle to Wilde to Green. Third tackle gone. Bradford just inside the Halifax half after a mix-up in communication, but Bradford looking lively. 22 minutes remain. Just 2 points the difference between these two fierce rivals. Lilly will play the ball, 20 out now to Minchella. Minchella to Roach, and the 25-year-old former Headingley Hawks junior carries it in on the last tackle. It now goes to Minchella. Minchella misses out Green. It's been picked up by Morrell. Morrell's looking for support. He realises he's not got the legs, and he'll drop to the floor on the Halifax 30-metre line. Barber in at dummy half to QLT to Griggs. Griggs caught on the shoulder. Halifax supporters appealing for a penalty. This game absolutely on a knife edge. Which way is it going to go? It remains 14-12, and Halifax now asking questions of the Bradford Bulls. Griggs to Moore, Brandon Moore, Cumbrian born, been at Halifax since 2016. He's brought down 25 metres out from that Bradford Bulls line in centre field. Morrell, Griggs, can't get past Minchella and Green, and Staunton comes in as the third man. They're exactly 20 metres out in front of the Bradford post. On the last tackle, Kavanagh goes to Morrell, crossfield kick, looking to put goal to Grant under pressure. Tyra's knocked it forward, and that will be a play the ball for the Bradford Bulls. 10 metres out from their own try line. We've just hit the hour mark on Pulse 2. No change to that half-time score. Bradford 14, Halifax 12. It was Defogging Johnston and Dalton Grant with the first half tries. A conversion and 2 penalty goals from Elliot Minchella. Ethan Ryan moves the ball out to his own 30-metre line. Second tackle gone. Lilly out of dummy half. No look pass to Farrell. Farrell puts the fend in. Can't go past Steve Tyra. And it's 5 metres inside the Halifax half. Lilly now centre field to Wilde. Wilde to Minchella. Minchella still going forward there, tucks the ball in. Upper body strength, carries him just shy of the Halifax 20-metre line. Milnes, inside pass to Roach. Roach brought down by Kavanagh and Moore. They're on the last tackle, the Bulls, the lead by 2. It goes to Lilly. Lilly crossfield kick, looking for Dalton Grant. That's gone back of a Halifax man. It's picked up by Crossley. Steve Crossley! Crossley's got it down! No, he hasn't! Steve Crossley, he's just come on the field of play, and somehow Will Sharp and Quinton Lalo-Tatogiye have stopped the big man. Steve Crossley denied a try. It'll be a play of the ball to Halifax. 10 metres out from the road try line. It was Dalton Grant's palm back, picked up by Crossley, and he has been denied. The attendance, for those attendance aficionados, 7,912 inside Bloomfield Road this evening.
Well, I think that's probably for the full day, isn't it? I think people have come in and out through in the day, and it's a good result. 8,000 people for a festival of rugby league up here in Blackpool. Fantastic, Mick, and really good. And you know what's coming to a big finale here. 18 minutes to go. Two arch local rivals here in Halifax and the Bulls going at it hammer and tong, and it's really in the balance this game. It could go either way. An error or a lovely line break and sharp piece of play is going to be the difference here, Mick. It really is.
Last tackle for Halifax, 20 metres out from the Bradford line. Defogging Johnston under pressure. That's been palmed forward there by Will Sharp, and that will be disallowed. That one clearly went forward off the right palm of Will Sharp, and that will be a play the ball for the Bradford Bulls, 10 metres out from their own try line, and still no change to this half-time score of Bradford Bulls 14, Halifax 12. That attendance again, 7,912. It's a slight improvement on the 7,877 that were in attendance here last season. Lilly now linking with Farrell once again. Farrell tries to plod his cause. Offloads the ball back to Lilly. Lilly, the magician, looks to create some magic. He's brought down just shy of halfway on the Bradford 45-metre line. Wilde to Crossley. Crossley has gone 20 metres down the middle. 30 metres out now for the Bulls. Milnes to Staunton. The two former Bradford Academy youngsters linking on the last tackle now. Staunton will play the ball. Wilde centre field to Milnes. Milnes deft crossfield kick. That one has been taken in goal by Scott Griggs. He's lost his footing and he will escape the clutches there. And he's finally brought down by Connor Farrell. 5 metres out, and now the referee has got the Bradford Bulls for not being square at the play of the ball. Halifax's fourth penalty of the evening. We have 17 minutes remaining, and Halifax, they're going to have a full set of 6. Close on there about on halfway. Bulls 2 scoreboard, Bradford 14, Halifax 12.
Yeah, look, again, letting the pressure off their Bulls by giving away that penalty as Halifax were forced to come out right off their own line. The kick was decent from Milne and it was well taken, but Halifax had a job to do. They really had to come out off their own line. So the Bulls just probably not applying the pressure and really putting the heel in as they get Halifax down that end. It's getting a little bit testy out there, Mick. There's a lot of talk, a lot of pushing and shoving in around the ruck. I hope some silliness doesn't cost either side here, because this could blow up a little bit here.
Referee will stop the clock. Kevin Leroy has gone down just to the left of centre field. He's feeling perhaps a bit of a hamstring, a little bit, well, he's just going to try and run it off. The Halifax physio's on the field. Halifax 30 metres out from that Bradford try line. We have 16 minutes remaining. Referee will make Kevin Leroy play the ball on the referee's whistle. They were just a little bit too hasty there. Here we go. K. Fairbank, QLT, past Ethan Ryan, inside support from Elliot Morris, and Halifax, they have a third try and they have the lead. They have broken the second half deadlock It is Bradford 14, Halifax 16. The kick will come from underneath the post, and Bradford now will have to chase the game. 15 minutes remain here at Bluefield Road.
Well, there it came, Mick, just having another look now. There was a long stoppage in play. There's a physio was on, and it was a set play, a beautiful face ball. They've opened up the Bulls' defence there. I think they took advantage of that break in play just to get themselves settled. They've worked it really nicely. As we're watching it again here, a really flat ball. It was a nice ball, rode a face ball across. The QLT has found support on the inside. They've opened up the Bulls there from 35 metres out. A really nicely well-worked try. The kicker's going to go over here. They're lining up that from right in front. It'll be 18 points to 14 with 14 minutes remaining in the second half. As the first points of the second half have come there, I didn't think it'd take that long, Mick. I thought both sides were looking to find points earlier on. It hasn't come. It's really tightened up here as Halifax convert the try.
Steve Tyra from in front. Bradford Bulls live on Pulse 2. Ben Kavanagh, Quinton Lalau-Togage and Elliot Morris. They're the three Halifax try scorers. Tyra free from free. And now the Bulls, they have to chase the game. And they're going to go for the short restart. It's not gone 10. It's gone 10. And Ethan Ryan's recovered the ball. Strap yourselves in. The Bulls are coming back here. Milnes out of dummy half. Milnes is brought down. Second tackle gone. 20 metres out from the Halifax line. And Wildy finds Crossley. Hallis is back out there on the field.
I don't know what's happening here, Mick, but that kick didn't even go close to 10 metres. It's bounced before the 10 metre line, and Ethan Ryan has run onto it from an onside position, but he's taken it before the 10 metres. A real let-off for the Bulls there, allowing possession here, and they're going to attack
Wildy.
Right on the line. Wildy.
Hallis, last tackle. They're a metre shy. Wildy's in there at dummy half. It goes to Lily. Lily crossfield kick. There's pandemonium. The Bulls are going to claim a try. The referee, though, will say it has been knocked on. Dead in goal. And Ethan Ryan, he's asking the referee to go to the screen. There isn't a video referee here. And the Bulls now, potentially, they have been served some injustice. Referee Tom Grant, look to the touch, George. Ethan Ryan has got that one down on the replay for mine.
I think he caught a knock on earlier in the move there, Mick. And to be fair, it's probably a fair result. As I say, the Bulls were very lucky to have possession down that end from a poor call from the kickoff from both the touch judge and the referee. It just didn't quite travel a 10 in the air.
Halifax 30 metres out from that Bradford try line. Connor Davis brought down 20 metres out. It goes back down this middle channel with Morrell to QLT. QLT past Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan, a try-saving tackle. QLT has to play the ball on top of the Bradford line, and QLT will receive the penalty. The Bulls were laying on in the tackle, and on will come the kicking tee. Steve Tyra will have a shot at goal, 20 metres out, and a chance here now for Halifax to put an extra 2 points on the scoreboard. The clock running down here, and Ethan Ryan, he feels aggrieved at that decision. Referee Tom Grant, he was Johnny on the spot, and Steve Crossley, he's having a word with Tom Grant in centre field here. And Steve Crossley and the Bulls, they feel aggrieved, and Halifax, they're 11 minutes away from a big summer bash scalp here at Bloomfield Road. The Bulls, as we said, 16 points from 13 games played. It'll be 14 after this evening's game, and Halifax, if they can hold on and pick up 2 valuable points, they will move level with the Bradford Bulls, and they will move up to 7th in the table. Tyra then, 20 metres out. He adds the extra 2 points on to the Pulse 2 scoreboard. And here at Bluefield Road, It is the Bradford Bulls 14, Halifax 20, tie 4 from 4. We've just hit the 69th minute, 11 minutes remain, and we're just looking again at that Ethan Ryan no-try decision. Difficult to see from here.
I think he's claiming that he regathered it from his high knock-on, but the Bulls have got it.
The Bulls have got it back from the short restart. Halifax have a player down in back play. They're down to 12 men. Momentarily, the referee
I think he's going to
stop the clock here. Crossley's brought down 15 metres out, and it is Ed Barber. He is down on his haunches, and listen to the boos and jeers. Well, we knew it was going to be an electrifying atmosphere here at the Summer Bash, and oh boy, what a cauldron this is turning out to be. Scott Morrell there urging Ed Barber to get up and get back in that defensive line.
You get the feeling something special's happening here, Mick. 6 minutes in it, 9 minutes in it, 6 points in it. Crossley playing the ball just to the left of the sticks. Just 18 metres out for the Bradford Bulls on the attack. You get the feeling they really need to come away with a repeat set or points from this set of 6 if they're a chance to take this game right to the wire.
Crossley plays the ball. Hallis to Kirk. Kirk on the third tackle. They're coming on this Maidstone side with Milnes. Milnes, the shimmy, the shake, centre field to Liam Kirk again, and Kirk's brought down on the fourth tackle. One tackle remaining here for the Bradford Bulls. Wildy to Crossley. Crossley towards the Halifax line. He's pushed back in the field of play. 71 minutes gone. The Bulls chasing the game. Wildy on the last tackle. It's the wrong option. Wildy's run is extinguished, and he's halted underneath the Halifax post. And the Pulse 2 scoreboard says Bradford 14, Halifax 20. This game has come alive.
Yeah, no from Wildy there. I mean, it was very, very populated under the sticks there. A lot of bodies around. He's chosen to go at all the wrong times. He needed to get off to his halfbacks either side of the ruck, and as we said, either find a repeat set with a grubber or shoot to the corners with a big kick for an attacking play. Although, time's still of the essence. There's 8 minutes remaining. The Bulls are really aiming up in defence here. There's another player down in the background for Halifax. The Bulls fans don't like the fact that it's been stopped again. He does look injured though, and I think you've got to give the benefit of the doubt to the medical guys. You've got to get support on there and help players when they're injured, Mick. I've got no problem whatsoever with stopping the game when someone's laying on the ground and prone.
Well, the passion and emotion then displayed by Sam Hallis. He was calling on the 2,000 Bradford Bulls supporters behind the post which Bradford are attacking in the second half, and play has been halted here because Brandon Moore has claret running from the nose, so he will leave the field in the blood bin. 8 minutes 48 seconds remaining. The Bulls know a converted try would give them a share of the spoils, and you know what, a point ultimately come season's end could be the difference between being inside the top 5 and outside. Currently the Bulls outside the top 5 on 16 points, played 13, won 8, lost 5. So Brandon Moore, he will play no further part, you feel. He goes down the tunnel, and Halifax now, they have to get past this Bradford Bulls defence. They're 20 metres shy of the halfway line. Elliot Morris, a sloppy play the ball. Hallis racing clear. Out of dummy half there, attacking that Halifax attacker. Wants to be careful, don't want to be penalised for not being square. Play the ball there from Barber. QLT in there at dummy half. It's the last tackle for Halifax. They're on the halfway line. It goes to Scott Morrell, and Scott Morrell will drill that one between Ethan Ryan and Defogging Johnston. He's put too much on it. It's a 7 tackle set for the Bulls. Strap yourselves in. Pulse 2. It's Halifax 20, Bradford 14, and the Bulls have got a 7 tackle set. 8-0 to Halifax in this second half. Johnston brought down 2 metres shy of halfway. Wildy in at dummy half to Milnes. Milnes to Hallis. Hallis clattered there by Cooper and Davis. They're like bumper cars, bumper to bumper. Lilly now to Farrell. Farrell goes behind Kirk, doesn't want to concede the penalty. Referee Tom Grant was about to put whistle to lips. Third tackle gone. Bradford 40 metres out from that Halifax line. It's now going to go down that right-hand edge with Jake Webster. Webster's carried the Bradford Bulls just outside the Halifax 20-metre line. Fourth tackle gone, and Jake Webster's come up with the error there. Bradford's sixth error of the evening. Jake Webster was appealing for the penalty, and Damien Irving, while Halifax will form this scrum, you have selected for the Bradford Bulls Live man of the match, Paul, Ethan Ryan, Sam Hallas, Elliot Minchella and Connor Farrell.
Yeah, look, I think it's been an interesting game in the Bulls. No one's been a real standout there. Connor Farrell's been particularly good in the back row position there. As I say, Sam Hallas early, and now he's coming back into this game. He's going to be crucial to this last few minutes to see what the Bulls can come up with. Look, the Bulls are giving away, would you believe? They've broken the scrum early, have they, Mick?
Yeah, a differential penalty. Penalty count now 8-6. Bradford have conceded the last 3 penalties.
Do you know what? There's 6 minutes to go, Mick, and we know of all clubs and of all sides to be watching this year. That's a lot of rugby league left when you're talking about the Bradford Bulls. There's only 6 points in it. That's one score. You have to say their experience in the close games and what they've come up with. You'd have to back them to come up with something here and take this game right to the wire. We're going to have a big 6 minutes here. It's a very important defensive set here now as Halifax are going to play the ball 25 metres off the Bulls line. The Bulls really need to not concede here.
Well, the message has just come on from Simon Griggs to go for the 1 point. That won't happen because Manny Wild has thrown himself into that Halifax attacker, and Scott Griggs has lost the ball. It's another error from Halifax. Scrum head and feed here to the Bradford Bulls. 20 metres out from their own try line. The clock's still running. We've hit the 75th minute here at Bloomfield Road. 5 minutes remain, and it's a long time since the Bulls posted any points. Not since the 34th minute. They've been kept scoreless in this second half. What have the Bulls got left? As we said, they're battle hardened, battle weary, fatigue, tiredness after that trip to Toronto, and then backing it up with that amazing win over the Leeds Rhinos last week. Milnes to Ryan to Oakes. Oakes inside the Halifax half, still going forward. Ross Oakes, he's brought down 45 metres out from the Halifax line. Ryan in at dummy half, finds Milnes. Milnes looks across the landscape, finds Minchella to Lilly. Lilly bullet pass to Webster. Webster somehow got the ball out to Grant. Granted to centre field to Milnes. Milnes flick on pass to Staunton. Staunton inside support from Ethan Ryan. Ryan's going to play the ball 20 metres out from the Halifax line. It's Hallas to Crossley. Crossley 10 metres out. 4 minutes remaining. We're on the last tackle. Lilly, crossfield kick, looking for Grant. It's palmed back and it's regathered by Ben Kay. And now Jake Webster has put the squeeze on Ben Kay in the tackle, and someone's given dissent. The Bulls now march back another 10 metres, and the penalty count is 8 penalties apiece. And you've got to suspect Damien Irving. The Bulls might have one more chance, but that is rugby league suicide from the Bulls.
Yeah, I think the dissent was they felt that it was actually a Halifax player there who's gone up and got a hand on it, and then his teammate has picked it up in an offside position. In fact, the replay probably verifies that, but the fact of the matter is it didn't go their way, and Jake Webster has actually flopped down there very late and given away that penalty, and then for some dissent on the back of it, it's uncharacteristic of what the Bulls have been dishing up in the last month or two. A little bit of frustration there today, and an ill-disciplined approach. That said, they've got to defend this set. I think they'll have 2 good sets on the Halifax defence to try and come up with some points and try and conjure a little bit of the magic that they've been known this year for creating, Mick.
3.5 minutes remain. Halifax 30 metres out from the Bradford line. Ben Kay attacks the markers. Hallas and Farrell wrap him up. Tackle number 4. Halifax, you suspect, are going to go for the 1. That was the message from Simon Griggs. Jacob Fairbank, 10 metres out in front of the post. It's the last tackle. It goes back to Scott Morrell. Morrell will win the game for Halifax. It's 21 points to 14. It's been a superb second half showing from the men from the Shea, and the Pulse 2 scoreboard says the Bulls have to score twice in under 3 minutes to get anything from this game.
Well, Morrell has been the man of the match, to be fair, from both sides out there by the length of the straight, really. What a beautifully struck field goal that was to come up with it. As the Bulls have gone for an awkward grubber short kick-off, and it's just not come off there. They're losing their way here. Bradford Bulls and John Keir looking very placid on the sideline there, and he knows that it's not been their night. He knows that a little bit of ill discipline, and probably Halifax a bit fresher and a bit more ready to go in that second half has been the difference, Mick.
Halifax awarded their 9th penalty. 2 minutes to go, and they're just going to run the ball down towards the Bradford line, running down the clock. They're going to pick up their first victory over Bradford this season, and oh boy, does this set up that Challenge Cup quarter-final at Odsal Stadium. They're on the Bradford line. Ed Barber gets to his feet, plays the ball. Chester Butler, he's brought down by Johnston, Ryan and Staunton. Butler will play the ball. Kay tries to pinch one from dummy half. He's held up, and Halifax will go back to the 10. It has been a very disappointing second half performance from the Bradford Bulls. It must be said, it will be a narrow defeat of 7 points, maybe more, if Halifax can post more points here. Defog and Johnston is holding up play, suffering with a bit of cramp. Time back on. Kay will play the ball. Morrell to Fairbank to Griggs. Error from Tyra. Dalton Grant was homing in on that. And Bradford, well, they've got 80 seconds, Damien. The referee's going to stop the clock. Scrum head and feed to the Bulls. 20 metres out from their own line. Halifax with their 10th error. And at the moment, Halifax are going to move level on points with the Bradford Bulls. They'll both be on 16 points. This will be Bradford's 6th defeat of the season and their 2nd defeat in 10 games in all competitions. And we know they have a tough assignment next Sunday against Featherstone. Let's see what happens here. They've got to score next and quick in the next 20 seconds, you feel, and then they've got to perhaps weaver the opportunity to take the conversion. 70 seconds remaining. Crossley, 10 metres shy of the halfway line. The Bulls down 21 points to 14. Hallis to Minchella. Minchella clicks clear. Ryan on the inside. And that one's going to bounce up kindly. And Halifax now, they will run down the clock and they will pick up a famous victory. Although referee Tom Grant will say Scott Griggs has lost the ball in centre field. And now there's a bit of pushing and shoving. It's exploded here right at the death. There's more biff at the bash. That's just frustration from the Bradford players, if anything else. And Liam Kirk, well, I've not seen Liam Kirk aggrieved like that. 10 seconds remaining. This is probably going to be all she wrote, Damien. Yeah. And it's still going on. Hallis and Chester Butler, they're having a bit of an argy-bargy on the far stand side. And I think the hooter is going to do the referee